like almost every day, except Saturdays, we're reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, but any other day we're reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And as far as I'm informed, it's the 4th canto, 7th chapter, verse 54, right? Yep. Okay. Trayanam eka bhavanam. Trayanam eka bhavanam. Yona pashyati vaibidam. Yona pasyanti vaibidam. Sarva bhutatmanam brahman. Sarva bhutatmanam brahman. Sashantim adi gacchati. Sashantim adi gacchati. Tarayanam eka bhavanam. Yona pashyati vaibhidam. Sarva bhutatmanam brahmam. Na shantim adi gacchati. Please. Nam eka bhavanam. Yona pashyati vaibhidam. Sashantim adi gacchati. Eka bhavanam. Aina pashyati vaibhidam. Trayanam eka bhavanam. Noina pashyati vaibhidam. Sarva bhutatman manam. Sashantim adi gacchati. Sayanam eka bhavanam. Yona pashyati vaibhidam. Sarva bhutatmanam brahman. Sashantim adi gacchati. Somebody else? No? Yes, no, maybe. 1, 2, 3, stop. Trayanam, of the tree. Eka bhavanam, having one nature. Ya, who. Na pashyati, does not see. Vai, certainly. Bhidam, separateness. Sarva bhuta atmanam, of the supersoul of all living entities. Brahman, O Daksha, sa, he, shantim, peace, adigacchati, realizes. The Lord continued, one who does not consider Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or the living entities in general to be separate from the Supreme, and who knows Brahman actually realizes peace. Others do not. Purport. 2 words are very significant in this verse. Trayanam indicates 3, namely Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. Bhidam means different. They are 3 and therefore they are separate, but at the same time they are one. This is the philosophy of simultaneously oneness and difference, which is called Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. You know the song, Kula Shaker? In the 90s there was a song, Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Okay, anyway. The example given in the Brahma Samhita is that milk and yogurt are simultaneously one and different. Both are milk, but the yogurt has become changed. In order to achieve real peace, one should see everything and every living entity, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, as non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is independent. Every one of us is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This accounts for unity in diversity. There are diverse manifestations, but at the same time they are one in Vishnu. Everything is an expansion of Vishnu's energy. Om Agnanati Mandasya Knananchana Shalakaya Chakshu Medam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stavram Yena Bhuktale Svayam Rupagaramayam Dadadi Swabarandikam Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The Lord continued, one who does not consider Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or the living entities in general to be separate from the Supreme, and who knows Brahman actually realizes peace, others do not. So that's a verse where the Lord, which Lord speaks? The Lord continued. Which Lord continued? Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, or Lord Vishnu? Who's speaking here? No? Okay, we step maybe a step back. We just in the fourth canto, and what is the fourth canto? What are the main stories in the fourth canto? No? Takuchi? Daksha, yeah, the story of Daksha and Shiva and Sati. And what else comes later on the fourth canto? Dhruva. And so yeah, we just coming out of the whole pastime, what happened between Daksha and Shiva and Shiva's wife Sati, who gave up her body because she felt mistreated by Daksha. And then a whole battle took place. Daksha lost his head, got replaced with a goat head of a goat. And now they continue with the yajna, and because it was such a successful yajna in the end, Lord Vishnu personally appeared before them. And then he gives different instructions. And here he gives instructions, and give the instruction what could be misunderstood if it would not appear in a Bhakta literature, or in the Bhagavatam, basically the literature where the Bhaktas or the devotees who try to serve the Lord with bhakti, so it appears in the bhakti literature, and therefore it's received by the Bhaktas and it's explained by the Bhaktas. If it would be not in a bhakti literature, then it could be misunderstood, because the Lord continues to say, one who does not consider Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or the living entities in general to be separate from the Supreme, and who knows Brahman actually realizes peace, others do not. So we could now see, okay, well, it's said here that, as Prabhupada also points out in the Prabhupada, Trayanam is of the tree, and Eka Bhavanam, having one nature. So, all they are the same, right? We could easily take out of this verse, taking this verse out of the context of the Bhakti scripture, we could say, well, they are all one. And in nowadays Indian philosophy, you have many times that this is the claim, that doesn't matter Brahma, Vishnu or Shiva, it's all one. And then he says, and all the living entities in general, to be separate from the Lord, and who knows Brahman actually realizes peace, others do not. And it's really said here, or Prabhupada really points it out here, others do not. So, but if we look at this verse from the perspective of the bhaktas, of the ones who want to realize or want to establish bhakti in their lives, they see it completely, not completely, but they see a different aspect. And this aspect is brought by actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a revolutionary man. What even, it was only 500 years ago. So even in India, where he appeared, his supremacy or his speciality is not really understood. If you go to Jagannath Puri, there is on the main, almost the main road, there is like a, you were in Jagannath Puri? Who was in Jagannath Puri? There is a big statue of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu standing like this with waving garments, and it's kind of in a road crossing. Like in India, you have also politicians, like what's this, Mr. Bose, right, standing there, or some other politicians, they're standing on crossroads. So same way Mahaprabhu is standing there, just completely by himself, not attended by anyone, because it's established not by bhaktas. And many of the people in India, if they know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they will say a great saint. He was a great saint, right? And even there was a video, or nowadays you would say a YouTube video. Probably you find it on YouTube, about the Hare Krishna movement in Germany, and then some German professor. He said, yes, this Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, he was a Bengali ecstatic, ein bengalischer Ekstatiker. Ekstatiker, I like this word. I like to be ecstatiker. Right? So, they give him the credit. Okay, he was a saint, but they don't give him the credit of being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because this is something only what you can give out of the heart of a bhakta, because the bhakta, he sees with love, right? And his object of love, he wanna put on the platform of his one and only anything, right? If you have a paramour, if you're in love, or if you have a family, the ones you love, you put on the highest platform. And it's not just that you say, like the husband calls his wife, oh my goddess, and she calls him, oh my God, oh my God. Huh? It's because it's of service. The main priority in a relationship of love is service. So first of all, anything the mother Prabhupada gives the purest example of purity of love in the material world, gives it to motherhood. He calls the mother she has the most pure love because she serves her kid without any motivation. It's not that when the kid comes out, she forces him to sign a contract. In Deutschland, wir haben den Generationenvertrag, the generation contract, meaning that the younger generation should take care of the older generation. Because nowadays it doesn't work anymore, because you have more old people than young people. So all the old people, they are afraid of their pension, because they are supposed to pay the pension of the old people. Now the old people in these days, like we have our Kishori Kund, they built up this country again after the war. And they were very enthusiastic, and they made great sacrifices. Nowadays nobody's enthusiastic anymore. Young people don't want to make sacrifices. They want to be just, it should be all given to them. They want to go to university and then study for a long time and then become influencer on Instagram. Right? But, this is not that maybe you build up your own fame, maybe you build up your own bank account, but you don't give necessary, you don't build things for other people to use. Bhakti Tirtha Swami, once he wrote in a book about management, wrote like a paragraph. He said, don't use other people to get your things done. Get things done for the use of other people. Right? And this is basically the mood. And when we are in the mindset of a bhakta, of somebody who's loving, he first of all considers, okay, what does my object of love needs first? The mother, when she wakes up, immediately she thinks, oh, what is the kid doing? Is still sleeping? Is still, and then what does the kid need? Right? And then, and first of all, she thinks always on the youngest kid. Right? Then she thinks of the oldest kid, and when all the oldest kids are through, then she thinks, oh, where's my husband? What he needs, what he's doing, or something like that. And naturally she puts them on the highest stage. And then everything else comes in consideration. She maybe think, okay, what is my requirement for the day? What do I need? What I have to do? What my boss, if I'm working or whatever, what he needs, and this it's all secondary and third position. And so a bhakta also, when he approaches the scripture, he always sees, where is my beloved? Where is the object of where it's written about my love object? Right? If you in love, if you girls in love with a boy, and you come in a crowd of some other girls, and they're all speaking, basically, especially in this point where you don't, where it's not openly known who is your paramour, right? So nobody knows that you have somebody in your heart whom you very relish. And you're only listening till this one name is mentioned. And then become immediately attentive and fully aware. And every little story, some other girls just maybe say, oh yeah, no, there's this Prabhu, there's this boy, and you kind of really, really relish this. Oh, what did they say? What did they say about him? You really try to listening, right? And so in the same way, when the bhakta approaches scriptures, and specifically bhakti scriptures, he only want to see what is the glorification of my Lord. What is the glorification of that person, what I relish the most. And the bhaktas, they relish the most when the Lord, when God is glorified. and when there is something what we know, what we find out about, oh, guess which paramour comes now. And especially when we get to know something about some activities, some features of that person, something what we maybe didn't know, or what we just now really found out, and what we relish. For example, in the morning when we read from the Nectar of Devotion, there's always some qualities of Krishna pointed out. And you can always think and see, oh, that's something what I hear today, what we read in the morning. Who remembers what you read in the morning? I was not there. Jai Shri Shri Padat Lakshmi Shingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. I was in the back, but who remembers what was said in the morning when we read the Nectar of Devotion? Oh, Gopikita.
About Krishna and different ways that he meets, or the gopis.
What? Different
ways of meeting.
of meeting. Okay, of meeting. What? Yeah.
Sometimes he scratches them, or it was pointed, I think, about the anger, how he handled the kind of these things. Like with his parrot-like nails, he scratches, that kind of thing.
He scratches
Yeah, that's
the gopis. Oh, that's quite rasic, but it's something what we really actually can. I never thought of this aspect. And when we find such, this is like in a puzzle, there are little bits and pieces who fit together, who basically model our picture of Krishna, what we have in our head, in our mind. And this is actually very, very important, because we need to train our mind. And with what do we have to train it? With service to Krishna. Because our process of thinking is supported by our body, and specifically by our brain. Now the brain, they make synapses of things what we repeat every day. Right? For example, every day in the morning we have to drive to school. So I don't have to think or ask Gopikita, what was the way to school? Right? It's just like more or less automatically. The car drives automatically. We switch on autopilot, right? And we sing with the boys. We sing the Singer Pranam, then Guru Puja, and then we there on the school and on the kindergarten. So we can do all these things, and while we're driving, we can kind of sing the songs. Now, don't say drive. You can drive and chant japa. You can, but it's not recommended. So, but this is something where the mind, actually everything functions. My body does whatever he should do. He's completely under control. He drives in this direction, drives there, turns around here, and this and that with the car. It's completely under autopilot. I don't have to think about this, but this is how my brain works, right? And what to speak of other behaviors? Somebody is coming and saying one particular thing to me. In English we say, he triggers a point, got a trigger point. And immediately a whole set of emotions comes over me, and with these emotions becomes a behavior. How do I react to a certain situation where I was triggered? It can be positive, can be negative. But it's something what is like an autopilot, what drives us in a different direction, drives us mad, right? So this is very important that we understand this, because when we enter sadhana bhakti, this sadhana actually is modeled in a way by the acharyas, given to us by Srila Prabhupada, that we are reconnecting that we first of all disconnecting our material synapses, what is basically how we are autopiloting in this material world about different things, about how we what our values are, where we put our values. We want to be rich, we want to be famous, we want to be beautiful, right? Everybody want to be beautiful. Even the brahmacharis. Or, Thakur, you look in the mirror and think, it's okay. Look quite, huh? Yes, of course. But then even then, you know, the brahmachari think, oh, a beautiful brahmachari has no hair. Huh? When it's cold, you want to keep your hair. That's a material conception. No, all fine. It's all just common. It's all there. It's kind of a inbuilt software. But we have to kind of detach these material conceptions and build new synapses where we are, what this synapses connected us with spiritual life. Now, when we come to Krishna consciousness, what I was told was always, you should always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, right? The golden rule of bhakti, right? And in the beginning, one thing, oh, it's so difficult, I have to always remind myself on Krishna, right? But with the time, when we progress in spiritual life, it becomes more natural, right? I mean, in the beginning, one has to remind, oh my goodness, I have to chant. I didn't chant today, my one round, or everybody start with one round, something like that. Right, they told us just, 1 round, you can do 1 round, you have a Chapamala, yes. And then you chant 1 round, then they say, maybe you can chant 4 rounds. And then one day a devotee comes and said, you can only call yourself a devotee if you chant at least 16 rounds. Actually 64 rounds. But then Prabhupada, he climbed down the Vasa and said, and this. And he came down to 16 rounds. Of course, so at least you should chant 16 rounds. Then you chant 16 rounds. Now, it's you can, don't try it, but you could try it. To kind of try to not chant 16 rounds. Chadrani, today you don't have to chant 16 rounds. I release you today from 16 rounds. What would you think? Are you crazy? What kind of demon are you? Right? What kind of demon are you? So it's naturally that we chant our 16 rounds. Okay, we may struggle. One day it's more easy, other day it's kind of a struggle, but we do it. But we promised it and we do it. So that's one thing where we can't forget Krishna. When you see, I don't know about you, when I see somebody, when you go through cities and you see people, they're coming out of a bakery or somewhere, they're taking the bread or whatever they have, they're taking it out of the how you call it? The Tüte? The package. And immediately, immediately something is screaming in me, no, you have to offer it. Right? Or you see somebody eating a bread on Ekadasi day. Oh, you would like to go to him and say, Prabhu, Mataji, whatever. Because it's mostly people from outside. You cannot do this today, it's Ekadasi. No cranes. Right? So it's kind of, it became in our nature, So it's more and more easy when we, with this process of sadhana bhakti, that we remember the Lord. And with this remembrance, we need these little puzzles. Now when we hear, for example, in the morning that Krishna scratches the gopis with his sharp fingernails. Oh, the parrot scratching. Parrot night nails, yeah. But what the devotees of Simhachlam, they immediately think of Nrsingadev, right? Because he has also sharp nails and he scratches not gopis, he scratches demons like Hiranyakashipu. right? That's the feature if you live in Simachalam, right? So, but this is also natural for us because he is our Lord. So we see of course we see Shyama Sundar. He's quite black, right? And he scratches not exactly gopis, but Hiranyakashipu. Who is he? Really? Who says he's a demon? Yeah. Some other thoughts? Huh? Yeah, they're actually Chai and Vijay. They're playing demons. They had to play the role of demons because, real demons are not really a challenge for the Lord. Because when he want to have a good fight, he uses his devotees. Right? So, we need these little puzzles to kind of build our worshipful form in our heart, in our mind. And through this process of sadhana bhakti and through the scriptures, this form is built in our mind and in our heart. And there's a process in when we do puja in the morning, that we do manasa puja. Mataji, you do puja sometimes? Yeah, you do manasa puja, right? Where you train your mind. Basically, you establish first by some kind of affirmation. What is also given in the scriptures, we find so many affirmations inside. Nowadays, affirmations quite common. Or Gopi Gita. I have some, for example, sometimes I have some problems with my stomach, and somewhere, I don't know where you have it from, my wife gave me affirmation for my stomach. I say, this negative emotions, let go of this, let go of that. And it works. You can train the mind in a way that he starts to heal the body. It's quite important because they say most of the sicknesses, they start here. Most of the body sickness, they start here, right? To cure your body, to cure sickness, you also have to start here, right? And so many affirmations are in the scriptures what tell us about our position, our state of being actually. And then with these affirmations, they are connected affirmations where our goal is. So in this Manasa Puja, we establish our form as being spiritual. For example, a very common affirmation is Naham Vipronacha Narada Bhivaishuna Shutro Nahamaninacha Kriyapadanavasteva Kinduputane Kila Paramananda Punamritapter Gopi Padabutakamalayo Dasa Dasan Dasaha. You know this? Affirmation by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu where it says, I'm not a Brahmana, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya, Shudra, nor am I a Brahmachari, householder, Grihastha Vanaprastha. I only identify myself as the servant of the servant of the servant of the maintainer of the gopis, who's always like a nectar full of bliss, an ocean full of bliss. So, and this is, for example, something what we do in this way. We establish our spiritual position. In the Sri Vaishnava tradition, they meditate, they have a whole affirmation, a whole process. Before they do puja, they, first of all, they meditate upon giving up the material body. They leave it all aside. Then they're meditating on giving up all the senses. It's a whole process accompanied with mantras. And then they're giving up the mental body. And in the end, they establish themselves as the spiritual being who is serving the spiritual force, Lord Vishnu himself. So we as Gaudiyas, our process of this is very short. That's it. That's the affirmation of Mahaprabhu. It says, you're not this, you're not that, I'm not that, I'm not that. I'm only the servant of the Supreme Personality, the maintainer of the gopis, Krishna. So we go very quick, directly there where it's the most important for us, Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So and then in this form, in this spiritual form, in this spiritual state of mind, we try to approach the Lord in our mind and worship Him there, making different offerings. And guess what? We can do, now in the winter we have hardly any flowers, isn't it? Yeah, but in my mind, I can have so many flowers. I can have so many flower garlands, all kind of color, all kind of tulsi, manchari garlands, everything can be there in my mind. I'm a lousy cook, huh? But in my mind, I'm a wonderful cook. I can't make any mistakes. Sometimes you have the story where this brahmana, he burned his finger because his meditation was so strong that he touched the pot to see if the sweet rice is already cool, and he burned his finger. Right? But so you can do anything in your mind. And this actually is this element what we have most of us will have only in the end of our lives, because our bodies cannot be moving anymore. But our mind still can move if it is fixed and concentrated on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this we only can do if we train the mind. And this what we hear now out of this verse. This is something again what builds our puzzle. And again we're reading the verse. The Lord continued, one who does not consider Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or the living entities in general to be separated from the Supreme, and who knows Brahman actually realizes peace. Others do not. So if we don't know these features, these aspects, and can put them in context, meaning we have to be established in our Siddhanta. In our Siddhanta means that we know Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, they are the same but different. And I'm not bewildered by this. I'm not disturbed by this. Because I'm fixed in the Siddhanta of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva? Now to give an explanation here of Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva. This philosophy is propounded by Lord Chaitanya as Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva. Everything is simultaneously one with and different from everything else. Wow, that's complicated. The cosmic manifestation created by the Supreme Lord is His material energy, is also simultaneously different and non-different from Him. The material energy is non-different from the Supreme Lord, but at the same time, because that energy is acting in a different way, it is different from Him. Similarly, the individual living entity is one with and different from the Supreme Lord. This simultaneously one and different philosophy is the perfect conclusion of the Bhagavad school, as confirmed here by Kapila Dev. This is from a purport of from the third canto, about the story about Kapila Dev and Devahuti. So then when we established in our Siddhanta with our mind, then we have first of all peace, and then we can worship in our mind peacefully the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So and therefore that's the aim of all our scriptures, all our teachings, all our acharyas, to train our mind, to train our mind, that our mind trains our behavior, trains our our dealings in the material world, our dealings with each other. You know, sometimes when I joined, we were told, probably when you all this Bhakta program, we were all kind of different Bhaktas, you know, with still kind of different haircuts and whatever. You know, when you meet out on the street, you probably would never ever speak to each other, right? But now here you become Bhaktas, and you have a common theme to talk about. That's Krishna and devotional service to Krishna. So this makes us, although we are different, it makes us the same, all the same. And this is Prabhupada calls is unity in diversity, but I look for another phrase as well. When you have different dishes, variety is the mother of enjoyment, right? Although it's only one enjoyment, we all here for the enjoyment of Krishna. We all here that for the pleasure of Nrsingadev. Agree? But we not all the same. We're not jumping all on the altar at the same time. One of Arti, Chinmoy would freak out. So many pujaris, So we don't do that. But we all have given a different capacity where we can serve the Lord in a different way. And this makes his, his army of devotees very palatable for him. Because they're all the same, but they're all different. They all have a different taste. Life is, I have a few shalagrams at home, and they're all shalagrams. But they're all different. You can look at each one and see, oh, this one is like this, yes, such a, So that's like, or I always say, we are kind of a sabji. And we all have different tastes, we all different vegetables. Harivenu is a cook, right? So the main taste doesn't come from the spices. That's modern Indian cooking, Whatever vegetables you have inside, the taste comes with the spices. So you put all spices inside, and mainly what? Chili, yes. Mainly chili. And that's a nice Indian dishes, And when Westerners, they go, oh, we go to the Indian. That was nice food. I needed 3 cups of water to kind of, wash the chili down, but it was nice Indian food. Because it was very hot. Because Indian food must be hot. But it's completely different. You use the vegetables to create the taste. And then with the vegetables, you use different kinds of spices to enhance the taste of the vegetables. And if you use spices in a specific way, these spices not only act as spices, they even act as remedy, or as you could say as medicine in one way. You have some kind of you get some too much acid, then you have spices who counteract the producement of acid, or I'm not specific specialist in this case, but this is how I learned how it works. So therefore, we are the Bhakti Sabji. And who's the cook? Who's the cook? Yeah, spiritual master, but who is, No, the Lord is the enjoyer. But who's the cook? Well, yes, Radharani, yeah, we have to. Yeah, I was thinking of Srila Prabhupada, but you're all right. So, yeah, they are the cooks, they are putting the spices together. Because even Srila Prabhupada and the spiritual master, they are servants of Srimati Radharani, right? And in this way, we can meditate. We should meditate. We should find out, okay, what is my specific taste? Not for me, not what I like to eat, what the Lord likes to eat from me. What is how I'm spicy to the Lord, how I'm tasty to the Lord. Huh? What makes me palatable for the Lord? And when we find this out, then we come to a whole new world of self-discovery, self-realization. Wow, somebody, I think I'm doing this. I think I can do that. And sometimes comes out, Hari Venu, he was a cook before already, right? So easy for you. But some come in the Hare Krishna movement. They never they never cooked before. The mother cooked everything for them, or they went to a restaurant. And then they come to the Hare Krishna temple. They by some, she goes to find out what is her nature. They come to a Hare Krishna temple by some accident. They engaged in the kitchen. They're cutting vegetables, and they think, oh, that's quite nice. And then next time they find themselves cooking, and they find out, wow, actually, I like to cook. And on top of it, the devotees who eat the prasadam, what was then enjoyed by the Lord, they say, wow, you very nice cook. Am I a cook? And they become a cook. You don't have many instances like this. I think Advaita was kind of something like that. No? He was a car mechanic, and he liked to do pranayam. But the devotees, they're very happy when he's cooking. They're ecstatic when he stands in the kitchen. Some devotees, they only come to the temple for lunch prasad if Advaita is cooking. Something like that. So, yeah, we should find out, go on a journey, go on a search, find out, who am I? What can I do? Am I a Arjuna, or am I, something else? What is my dharma? What is my dharma in this life? Who's called? There's two. Swadharma is the eternal. Now, Swadharma is this what you do your eternal dharma or your temporary dharma? Somebody knows?
Both.
We know? No.
There is a distinction between spiritual and material dharma.
Oh, really? I thought it was called differently. The one was called differently. Okay.
It's like this subject.
Yeah, but you have a dharma. What is your original dharma? How you serve the Lord, or how you maybe even you form in the spiritual world. Yeah. I mean, I think we get the point now. Here we can look later if you find out. And then there is this what is right in this moment, in this life moment, and it could even change. Now Gopi Gita's main dharma is to be a mother, right? But this is it's some sort of temporary, because once the boys are grown up, she still will be a mother, but her dealing looks different than with the kids, for example. You could say it changes every day somehow, right? And also in some stages our dharma is, for example, when we in the brahmachari ashram or brahmacharini ashram, then our dharma is Thakur. Studying and serving the spiritual master. Do you study your spiritual master? Maybe, not bad. Yeah, to some extent. Yeah, you basically you serve and you study. And then when you enter in, and when you follow this dharma called ashram, when you follow this, you protect it. When you follow your dharma, When you follow Dharma and protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. So when you follow the requirements of a brahmachari, then this ashram will protect you as a brahmachari. When you sneak out of this ashram and see, oh, maybe I should have a bank account. Maybe I should have, right? Then your ashram cannot protect you anymore. And it's most likely that you went under the protection of another ashram. So, and this changes. But then you have also something what is God given to you. Doesn't matter in which ashram you are, it continues. It goes with you. For example, you may be a good painter. It doesn't matter if you're in a brahmachari ashram, you will find yourself painting. Or if you're a drummer, who knows drummers? I lived with drummers before. I lived with drummers, and they can be so annoying because everything they are. I'm not good drummer, but they everything. They have a pen. They're pen laying. They're drumming some rhythms everywhere. You give them. They find 2 pens. Oh my goodness! They immediately build a drum kit out of marmalade glasses and spoons and whatever. It's like, but it's their dharma. They can't help it. They just drum. It's not there. You like gardening. You will find you always yourself somehow putting some vegetables. You like soil. You like growing things. That's there. Or, cooks, they always cook. They can use everything for cook. They use a little candle and build something to make a tea or whatever, possible. So that's actually our requirement. This is actually what we should find out to specialize our service, specialize our lives, because in the end, our lives are the greatest offering. So how we can make our life into a palatable offering to the Supreme and His devotees. How we can be of use. How we can be of use in the community of devotees. How we can be of use. How I can be engaged in the service to Srila Prabhupada, in the movement. How can myself kind of an instrument what nobody want to miss anymore. How I can make an imprint in this movement. How I can make a contribution. So many different people. Somebody is a Sanskrit scholar, he maybe translate some Purana or something like that, and then that's done. That's translated. It was a contribution. On other devotees, they can use it. They don't have to translate it themselves. They don't have to be scholars. They can just read the English translation, like our Srila Prabhupada. It's done. It was such a contribution to the whole Vaishnava family. Basically, it carried Vaishnavism all around the world. So what a great contribution. What was a very intimate sect, you could say, in India, or in this time of Mahaprabhu in Bengal. It became a worldwide movement, the movement of bhakti. It's incredible. It's incredible what gift that we had. And so let us not be like the modern young generation who wait till the grapes growing in the mouth. Let us become like really enthusiastic. Let us be enthused. Let us try to find a niche somewhere where what we can fill up with bhakti to make this movement like really solid and colorful in all directions, that people come in, like they come in this temple and they say, wow, that's a solid temple. My parents, when they came here first for our wedding, they saw the Leipzig temple, what was a little bit like a hippie community. No, I mean, it was clean, was everything fine, but they could appreciate they saw where it's going, but still it was like kind of a, some bachelors for them, some brahmacharis, some bachelors living together, right? But when they came in here and they saw, first of all, wow, they have a whole country here. It's not just like a flat. They have they have tractors and whatever, garden and cows, and then they came here and they saw this temple. That's a massive, solid temple, and the singer Dave is he is solid. He is present here. Or you feel it? He is, and he is here for forever, and you cannot move him. He will be here for eternity. Right? So let us be part of it. Let us find out how I can be of service, how I can be useful, and not just wait till I'm waiting for maybe I can enter another ashram and I gonna get married and then I get a job and then I'm coming every week, 2 weeks, once a month on Janmashtami to the temple. Right? That's not why Prabhupada came to the West. It's nice, it's wonderful. You maybe chant Hare Krishna, you have Gonita at home, you give them a flower every day, and you think when you bite in your bread what you just bought, you think Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. It's okay, it's better than nothing. But now we want to make an imprint to this whole movement. We want to be part of it. We want to make a footprint there. We want to be part of the walk of fame. Of course we don't want to, but this is in Hollywood, they have the walk of fame. When you're an actor and you get a star there, in the walk of fame, you did it. You're done. Right? They never will remove you there. I don't know if they ever removed maybe, I don't know. But if you're there, then you're there. So we wanna enter in this bhakti scriptures, as Mangalananda always said, and always I try to kind of remember this. The Chaitanya Charitamrita is not finished yet, and it's true. It has not real end. It still continues. It's going on. So let's be part of it. Not that we can say, oh, that we become proud. No, that we make a contribution, a humble contribution of humble service. So all big words from a stupid mind. I'm asking you and I'm begging you and praying to you that you give me, please, your blessings, that I can be of service in your community, in your family, in your association. Please give me service. Let me know how I can serve better, how I can please you better, how I can make my service better. And in this way that I will find my Dharma, that I will find my way and guide me, give me hints how I can be of better service, that somehow or other I can bring this life to some sort of relevant end. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So thank you very much. Are there you have any hints? Let me know. Gopi Gita, she must know. Now she comes out with all of that.
Hare Krishna. It's not a hint, but a question actually. Because you spoke about us all finding sort of what our offering is to the Lord, our part of the sabji, that we can offer. And sometimes people have it that there is a natural propensity, like you mentioned, Harivenu, maybe with cooking or something. But there's also people who, for whatever reasons, karmic or otherwise, don't really know what they can offer to the Lord. Maybe they tried this and that, it doesn't work out. Maybe it's for different reasons. What would you suggest for them to really be able to find their inner sabji?
I just recently like many devotees nowadays, they're listening to His Holiness Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Keshava Swami, right? And I heard just in the class he spoke also about Dharma, and he is this. Sometimes it's a little bit too much because I think this is an English thing. They have all this. I don't know. It's called. I don't know how it's called. I have the different. This. Acronyms. Yeah, where there's A, B, C. A stands for this, and what. I forgot. But I think it was the question also about Dharma, how you find out the Dharma, and it was the first. I think was. Observe yourself, see, you can by yourself figure out what you're good at. That's one thing. Second thing was question other people, ask other people, especially seniors who know you, who have experienced in spiritual life or in devotional service. Ask them how you see me. How you see me engaged? You know my nature. You worked already with so many. You saw so many bhaktas coming and going. So ask somebody who is long time around. What do you think? What could I do? And the third thing was acquire. No, basically try it out. Try different things. If you think I would like to be a teacher, then try it. Try to teach. And then you will see it's great, feels great, or maybe not so. Maybe not, then try something else. So, this all can be there. Look at yourself, ask questions to others, and, find out yourself. Try different things. Or close to Keshava Swami. Something. Oh, Mataji. Thank you for the class, but I'm confused.
The Purport said, does not think to be separate, these three gods.
Yeah.
And that means they are equal.
Yeah.
So, but we have the third offense, which says we should not consider to be second offense, that we should not consider these Brahma Vishnu to be equal. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's basically the whole weeks ago we spoke already about this because it came up all the time. Especially about Lord Shiva. We meditated the last weeks so much about Lord Shiva because he's the main personality, and in this section here, and as Prabhupada also writes here in the purport, you could say both of them are milk, but then you have yogurt and it's not milk anymore; it became something else. So it's the same. But they are different, they fulfill different functions. And as we always say, we respect the demigods, but we don't worship the demigods on the same level as we worship the Supreme Lord, the origin of everything. So that could be, this could be one thing. And of course, we're speaking here about in the Christians, they call it Trinity. How is it? The Holy Ghost, the Lord, the Holy Ghost, and the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I guess. Right? This is the Trinity in Christianity. And it's for if you speak with Christians, even with Christian theologians, it's very hard for them to define and to discriminate upon them. They don't have a clear philosophy. But in our Trinity, we have a clear philosophy, but we say it's the creating aspect, what you should have. I don't speak about Knaus now anymore. If the creating aspect, what creates, and you have to have this, you need in the material world, you need the passion aspect. We need passion, otherwise nobody would get out of the sleeping bag in the morning. If there would be not some level of passion, right? Or go under the shower, especially cold shower. You have to have some, who enters in goodness under a cold shower. So you can maybe in ignorance, what is cold? Anyway, so you need this aspect of passion. And you need, if you want to create something, in one point, you have to destroy it. It has to be there, right? And so you have to, these two aspects has to be balanced, because otherwise there is chaos if there's no balance. So therefore, they are Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. In one aspect, they are all the same, and at different levels of Vishnu. As we say, Vishnu in office. When Vishnu is in office, then he cooperates with his secretaries, and the secretaries, they are in one sense not different from him. If the secretary comes to another country, he represents the head of the government. If the minister goes, he represents the country. Although he's not the country, he's not the supreme, the prime minister or something like that. He's just a minister, but he's considered none different than the prime minister, right? But then when you have some other CEO or something from some company, some country, he comes to another country, he's not automatically considered to be on the same level, not even as the minister. So the same way when you bring Surya in the game, or Agni or something like that, you would never think Agni is the supreme, because he's very powerful. Or? Right? He is powerful, but you would never put Agni on the same level with Vishnu. Although even they say, Vishnu eats through the mouth of Agni Dev. So you could say, wow, you see it again, the same. Well, no, it's not. Makes sense? So I know it's a relevant question, and in the same time, I'm making it clear to myself. Thank you for the question. Somebody else? Otherwise, it's overtime for breakfast. So now let us conclude this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class with having wonderful Krishna Prasad, and thank you for your association, and have all a wonderful spiritual enlightened day in Krishna consciousness in Sri Simhachalam Dham. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grandharaj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Gaur, Srila Gurudev ki jai.
But lock. Hare Krishna, your name is Divyam. And yours?
Yeah, I saw yesterday the place was shot. Thank you so much. You did.
Wenn ihr da Chief für übersetzen.